All right, everybody, it's your boy Genius out here at the range trying to do what I've been doing a little bit lately, what I will occasionally do, and that is try to address some of the questions that people have in the comment section if it's within my ability to do that. If it's an addressable topic and it doesn't cost me a fortune to address it, I certainly try to do that. One of the questions that I often get is, Gene, you've done some videos where you've ran up on snakes out there in the woods. You're out there in the woods for hours at a time. Sometimes the evening rolls in on you. I'm sure there's coyotes out there. You know, what is a gun that you always have with you when you're out there in the woods? And I would say that I always have it with me whether I'm in the woods or not, especially late spring, all of summer, early fall, but it's typically always with me, okay? Because it's such a versatile gun, okay? Before we get started doing that, as always, I want to invite you to know Jesus Christ as your Savior. A lot of people give me encouraging comments about that, but then there's some as always with that Jesus stuff, so I'm out of here. I don't know why that offends you so much, but either way, if you don't believe it, if you think it's a fairy tale, be bold enough to at least allow me to share the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And if not, then be bold enough to pick up a King James Bible with the right heart, with the right heart, with an open heart, open mind, and humbly ask God to show and reveal himself to you through his word. And I believe with all of my heart that he will reveal himself to you in a way that you've never known, and you know for sure that it's him, and you can know him as your Savior, live forever in eternity with a glorified body. So why don't you take care of that today? Today is a day of salvation. What gun is it, Gene? Let's talk about it. All right, well, it is the Taurus Judge Magnum. Well, Gene, why specifically the Taurus Judge Magnum? Why not the Governor? Why not a bullpup 12 gauge shotgun? Well, number one, this is more versatile, than a 12 gauge shotgun. And this is half the cost of a Governor. Well, okay, Gene, but is it reliable? Well, Trey and I used to take this and the Poly Defender, which was a 2.5 inch, and we would literally shoot skeet with it. Why would you do that? We would take this 410, 2.5 inch, 7.5 shot federal top gun here, and we would literally shoot skeet with it. Okay. Is that something people typically do? I'm sure they don't, but it was a lot of fun and we actually got pretty good at it. And so we shot this gun a lot, and the Poly as well. And it's always been reliable and dependable. It has never had a single failure of any kind, okay? Is the finish on this gun as durable as the Governor? No, it's not. However, again, it's half the cost. It's going to be something you throw around. It's usually in a gun rug, either in my glove compartment locked up, in the center console locked up, or underneath the back seat locked up. It's usually with me all the time, and so it's a beater, if you will. You're out in the woods, so, does it really matter if the finish gets roughed up a little bit? It's not a bad finish, but it's not as good as a Governor. But again, you're paying double the price for that gun. This one is just as reliable in my experience, okay? So this is the one that I choose to have with me when I'm out here in the woods. What are you most likely to run up on, Gene? Well, very common in this area is black snakes, of course, black racers, and copperheads. Those are the three most common in this area, although you will occasionally run up on a bull snake, a rattler, I can't think of any. I mean, just your common garden snake and stuff, of course. But so, if I were to see a copperhead, or in the rare case a rattler or something, of course I'm going to have to end his life. I can't be out here because they can be aggressive sometimes. So I can't be out here, and not knowing. And so that's why we want to keep the black snakes around, because they might handle business for you. But that's why I keep loaded up in it. All five usually is the 2.5. 7.5 shot federal top gun here, because again, I get that good spread. It's more of a point and shoot, or can be anyway. And then, Of course, it was kind of hard to see the spread on the target there, but you get a nice, good spread on this gun, okay? And then, of course, if you want to go with the 3-inch, you can always get the Double X from Winchester. It's 1100 velocity on this thing, 7.5 inch as well. Still a little bit difficult to pick up on camera with the spread, but it has more energy, 3-inch, a lot more oomph, if you will, maybe something a little bigger. I don't know. We do have coyotes out here in the evening. They're usually not an issue. You rarely see them, but they do occasionally come out. Okay, maybe something like that. I don't know. But you could also use the 3-inch for a snake or even a 2-legged animal. But Gene, you know, what about, you know, the 2-legged animal? Well, for the 2-legged animal, it's versatile in that you can stick the 45 Colt in there and you can get very surgical. As you can see, I was standing there at about 15 yards and, you know, just wearing out the center of that target. That ain't bad for, you know, what is essentially a snub nose revolver at 15 yards with 45 Colt, a very underappreciated round in my opinion, and can really do some damage for your 2-legged animals, but also for just about anything. Now, there's going to be people that'll tell you, hey, the Hornady critical defense with the 41 cal slug and the 235 cal, you know, balls in there, 300 foot-pound and 750 foot per second. That is, I mean, I've heard many people say that is the best round, and it is a very good, powerful round, as you can see here. However, I disagree with the majority. I think that the Winchester PDX-1 is the winner. In my opinion, the Winchester PDX-1 410 Defender. Okay, this is 3 inches as well. It also is 750 on the velocity, but it has a muzzle energy of 361 pounds. That's getting it done right there. Okay, and it has, let's see, 4 plates. Projectiles, if you will, and it has 16 BB. So not only do you get the knockdown of the plates, but you also get that spread with it as well, as you can see here. And that's the reason why I think that, you know, it is the clear winner in my opinion. Now, you know, if you disagree with that, that's fine. We all like something different. Some things are just subjective. They're not objective, they're subjective. And this is the one that I think is the clear winner. So if I, you know, was using this for home defense, I'm probably going to use the 45 Colt or this round right here. This is a monster round. You could see the mass destruction that it created down there when I accidentally hit that tree. Okay, it is a powerful round, okay, and I think that it's probably superior to the Hornady round there, although the Hornady round is a very good round. So it's a very versatile gun. If you want to put, you know, 2 long Colts, better not say that, the trolls will come out. If you put 2 45 Colts in there, you can slap 2 2.5 inch or 1 2.5 inch, 7.5 shots. You can slap you a 3-inch 7.5. You can put you one of your Hornadys or your PDX-1 in there. You can have you a variety of stuff in there, if you will. I typically don't do that because, again, I don't want that sneaking up on me. I want to know what I'm shooting each time that I pull that trigger. Okay, but just a very nice gun, smooth trigger for again, a relatively inexpensive gun in comparison to, say, like the Governor or other options available. I think this is a very, very good truck gun, woods gun, backpack gun, whatever you want to call it. This is my go-to, and it's always with me. I know I was stumbling over my words a little bit. It's very, very humid out here. It's been raining a lot here in North Carolina, and there's a lot of mold and stuff going on, and it's messing with my sinuses. I'm draining a lot, so it's screwing up my speech and everything else, and I do apologize for that. But there it is, folks. The Judge Magnum from Taurus. Always been completely reliable for me. If you've had one that wasn't, I'm sorry about your experience. This is just my experience. Completely reliable gun. Very nice fiber optic front sight there. And as mentioned, as you saw, it can be very, very accurate. And thanks for watching. As always, you know where you can support Amanda and I at, over on Patreon. $5, $10, $20 a month. The most of what you donate, we get from going to the website, clicking on the 3 lines in the corner, gsquaredtactical.com. And when you click on the 3 lines, it'll pop down at the bottom. It says support the channel. You click on that, you pick a tier. It already has a pre-inserted price in there, but you can wipe that out and put in there what you would like to donate. And we get about 97% of that. We get about 94% of what you donate through Patreon. We get about 40% of what you donate through Super Thanks. Again, all of it is appreciated. And if you can't do that, be sure to watch the video in its entirety, and also hit the thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe, because that is a way also that you can support us if you're not able to monetarily. Thanks again so much for watching on this very hot, humid day that the Lord has made here in North Carolina. To God only be the glory.